Hey everyone, welcome back to Returning to Basics. I'm at home in the studio, but just back from a recent trip up to our property at Dogwood Trace in the Ozarks. I spent the 3 days after Christmas up there deer hunting in that little season that we have in Arkansas. Had a really good time and was able to spend some time out on the property, and it was great to be able to do that. Give you a little history of our property. When I was about 12, 13, somewhere in there, in the early 70s, my aunt and uncle purchased a portion of the property that we own. And I was able to spend some time up there helping my uncle. And we actually took lawn rakes and raked the leaves and things out of the way and went up the mountain and created a road from the gravel road all the way up to the old trailer that they had up there where he developed an original camp. And so have some fond memories of that time. And that 11 acres that my uncle and aunt owned are actually part of our 40-acre tract that we bought 6 years ago from the people who had purchased the property from the family when my aunt and uncle passed away. Excuse me. So I have some history there and really some fond memories of the property. Where that old driveway goes up to the trailer, it intersects a power line right away, and there's a four-way there where there's an open intersection. And I have, over the years, the last 4 or 5 years, I've developed food plot there. And the only bad thing about having that food plot there is from the gravel road, you can actually stop and kind of look up the old driveway and see a portion of that food plot. And that's not a bad thing, except I've noticed some passersby on the road stop and actually look, and they can see deer up there, and it looks like they're intentionally looking up that way. And so to keep from tempting anyone to actually trespass on the property, I've decided that we needed to plant some trees in that old driveway. We don't use it any longer, and so over the years, last few years, I've transplanted some cedar trees in there, and I've gotten some growing pretty good. And it's beginning to give us a visual screen so that people can't see up through there, and it actually helps the deer to feel a little more secure. And so the benefits, that's beneficial to our food plot situation. We haven't had any known issues that I know of people jumping over the fence, climbing over the fence or the gate, and going up there and doing anything. I just didn't want to tempt anyone. And so I've been planning to actually take that gate down and move it actually move it so that the utility company can access our fence, but that's fenced off the property between us and the neighbor on the south, and go through the power line right away without having to actually back all the way out of our property and backtrack and come back out a couple of our other gates. It's not real far, just a few hundred yards down the way, but it would just be easier if they could open that gate there. So I've been intending to do that. While I was there the other day, I noticed that a contractor for the utility company who's going to be putting in the fiber optic broadband actually cut the chain on that old gate and put a lock on it. And that's not a problem. But the problem was that they drove their utility truck up that driveway and mowed over a couple of our larger cedar trees. One of them was about 7 or 8 feet tall, and one of them was about 5 foot tall, and they just mowed them down. The rest are about a foot and a half tall, and not a big deal, and they didn't hit any of those and hurt any of those. And that's on me because I hadn't moved the gate yet when I had actually told the utility company that I was going to move it. So to prevent any of our other trees getting harmed, and I was able to stand those other ones back up, by the way, and help them and prop them up, and I think they'll be okay. But to prevent that from happening again, I spent some time out on the property the other day. I took the gate down. I put up some barbed wire and a pole in the middle of that old gate entrance. And so when that contractor comes back, they'll realize they can't access that gate, and they'll have to go down the road a couple of hundred yards to one of our other gates and go in and out there. So spent some time out on the property, did some recording, thought you might like to go along with me and see what I was doing. Okay, I no longer have the key to this lock, so unfortunately I've got to open it this way with a universal key. That's okay. We have our chain out of the way with the utility company's little lock on it, which hex nut takes to do this. There we go. Right. Now, to move the gate. See my little cedar tree right here? One here, one here, one here. And then this one. Then one here, 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 and here. Planted intentionally. One here,
one here. These two. This one planted. This one planted. And these nurtured. They ran over this one, you see. And this one. And I've stood them back up. I want this to grow up so you can't see up through there from the road. Why? Because my food plot's up through there. And I don't want people to stand here and look and be tempted to come and crawl over the gate. All right, there it is. Move the gate so that they won't come through this driveway and disturb our trees, and allow the trees to grow up and block the drive so that we can have a food plot up that way that can't be viewed from the road. Hope you enjoyed coming along with us. Thanks for visiting our channel again. God bless you. Have a great day.